Good morning. Another beautiful day in paradise. Meg is loving life. We have had a reprieve on our weather the last few days, which is amazing because so many parts of our country are quite hot. Apparently North Dakota is really hot and Fairbanks, Alaska is really hot where I come from. In fact, they're really having problems with forest fires right now. A lot of people have gotten evacuations in the outlying areas of the town that I come from in Fairbanks, Alaska. So it's just crazy that our temperatures drop down. But I'm enjoying it. We get today and tomorrow a little reprieve on the heat. Meg says, I'm a desert dog, mommy. I don't care. Been working on a sewing project since last Saturday. Actually, that wasn't very far ago, right? Saturday, Sunday, today's Monday. Been pretty productive on this project, but we have a little great niece and nephew visiting from Bulgaria. They're actually dual citizenship, Bulgarian and American. I got an American daddy and a Bulgarian mommy. They're not visiting us, they're visiting family on the East Coast. And so I'm making a princess dress and a doll dress matching for this little girl. Normally we do stuff for our great nieces every year, but it's kind of expensive to ship, and our great nephews, but it's expensive to ship to Bulgaria. It's crazy expensive. Extreme Cobra, I'm not sure I understand. My guy, excuse me, my guy is Mr. Painter, but he's not actually walking with us this morning. Usually he does. Today he's taking an elderly friend of ours to breakfast and they're talking about baseball cards. Trust me, it's better that he's discussing baseball cards with our elderly friend and not me. It's not really my area. This is Miss Meg, our puppy. She gets a walk twice a day now. Pretty good exercise, let me tell you. And it's been lucky that the temperatures have dropped because we've been able to sleep a little longer. Normally you're up here about 6 a.m. Hey, Timothy III, what's up? Welcome to this channel. Loving these flowers. It's amazing, some things actually thrive here in the heat. And you know, there's even weeds that thrive here in the heat. Sorry, Scam likely has my number. Darn those guys anyway. I even made a video for them. Yep, amazing day. Enjoying the reprieve in temperatures while it lasts. 2 more days, they say. I think we probably have a whole week until we get back up to about 110 again. But I tell you, the highs of 90 have been nice this past few days. Normally I'm out here at the crack of dawn. And it's nice to be able to get a little more sleep, right? Because you got to get out early if you're walking a dog. Actually, if you're walking yourself even. Because I tell you, 112 is pretty hot. Love these mesquite trees. What is it? Morning. Morning. Yeah, all this stuff lives without any water. I guess no matter where you live, there's weeds, except maybe Mars, right? That's a whole new concept. Love these flowering trees, they're so pretty. Meg says, I don't care about weeds, Mommy. I don't care about weeds. Hear that dove singing? Morning doves. I love those birds. They don't cause any problems. Well, unless, of course, they're dropping chicks out of nests. That's a problem. They don't build good nests. We actually hand raised the dove. That dove actually still comes back to our yard. We don't feed birds anymore in our yard, though, because some of those birds got to be little terrorists. When I woke up one morning and I was having my tea at the table and looking out the window, and one morning the whole flock of quail was in my almond tree ripping the almonds off. That's the day that I stopped feeding the birds. They can eat you out of house and home. What is it, baby? Been enjoying looking at the hummingbirds lately. We've got a lot of blooming herbs. One of them is marshmallow root, and it's got these beautiful kind of white and maybe a little bit of lavender flowers. And apparently the hummingbirds like those, and it's right outside our kitchen window. So in the morning and the evening when we're sitting at the table eating, I can watch the hummingbird. So enjoyable. Little nature. Definitely. The quail babies are really cute, but I never realized that they were going to eat me out of garden, right? I guess when you live in the desert, everything's hungry because, in other words, this is what their food source is, these weeds. Can't blame them, right? I'd be hungry too. That's what I had to eat. But I guess they live here for a reason. They're adapted. They seem to be doing just fine without us. What's really crazy is I didn't realize how hardy rabbits are. We managed to keep those out of our backyard. That was the first thing eating our garden this year. But they will actually eat the paddle cactus. It's crazy. I couldn't figure out what these bite marks were on the bottom of my paddle cactus. And one morning I came out and one was sitting on a rock, stretched up, chewing on the bottom of a cactus. The good news is those paddle cactuses grow really fast. So periodically I just take off a chewed on paddle, what's left of it, right? Those things are getting huge. And thankfully the fruit that they make is on the top, so they're not actually affecting the fruit. So I'll give the rabbits credit for that. I'm still going to get fruit even though they're chewing on the bottom of my cactus. That's the nice thing about a dog. You're not going to slack off on your exercise because they're going to say, let's go. Hey, Mom, it's time for my walk. I have an instant companion. Is she going to find the spot? I've got a bag in my pack. Carry a little fanny pack with all kinds of stuff in there, including bags for cleaning up after our dog. No polluting. Oh, I think she found the spot. Let me get my bag out. What a good girl you are. What a good girl. Now what I have to watch is that she doesn't kick all this debris on the ground on me. Because she likes, oops. All right. Okay, don't bury it. Let Mommy get it. She's crazy about that. She like enjoys digging. All right, I got a bag here. Just get that and get this taken care of. All right, just a minute here. Be right back. Okay, we are off to the trash can. Luckily, there's one along the way, or two. No excuse for people not to pick up. They actually provide bags. And that is actually related to our HOA. It's not the city, which I had no idea. till I went to my first HOA meeting. Somebody left notes on all our doors about getting a new company, and we were all paranoid about it. I think it was the biggest HOA meeting they ever had. I'm sure my coming contributed to that, right? But that's how it goes, you know, businesses cycle. But I found out that they actually provide the bags, our fees provide the bags, so that's a good thing. That's actually useful to me. We're pretty lucky. The HOA we have so far has been pretty good. And the fees are low, so my husband did good when he picked this home. Long time ago, before he met me. A lot of people have crazy HOA fees in the Las Vegas area. Like, I have a friend who lives in the Green Valley area, which is really nice, but not only do they control every aspect of your life living in your home in that area, but she pays like $500 a month. I think we pay about $300 a year, a little over $300 a year, so that's pretty darn good. If you buy a house with an HOA, you better be real careful. Find out what your fees are. I mean, the plus side to HOAs is you don't have anybody recreating the dump in their front yard, which actually happens where I come from in Alaska. Hey, Carly, the pineapples. I love pineapple. You know, we didn't really buy pineapple much when I lived in Alaska because that's considered exotic, right? And stuff like that's expensive where I come from, but often I'll get a pineapple at the store here, and I found out they're companion plants to peppers. So we have a grow room, and one of the hanging baskets that I have, hanging containers, has pineapples and peppers in it. And I've managed to get 2 of the pineapples to root. Whether or not I'll ever get peppers, I mean pineapples, I couldn't tell you. I think it takes like 18 months. But it's definitely made the peppers happy. The peppers love having those pineapples in there. Hey, Magnum, welcome to the channel. Glad you like our doggy. Hey, Jesus, welcome to the channel. Carly, I'm glad you like pineapples. Jesus, thank you. All is well. We are being safe, enjoying our walk. Thankfully, we live in a safe area. And I haven't been up early enough to see the little 80-year-old ladies out here walking, but I figure if they're out here walking by themselves, I'm really safe with a dog. The only problem I've had is once this road here goes on to like an interstate, right? So people pass by here. So sometimes people will get out and they'll let their dogs out. And one time, some man let his pit bull out. And I'm not hating on pit bulls, by the way, but they can be dangerous if they're not trained or socialized. And that dog charged us, which was pretty frightening. So that's the only scary thing that's happened to me walking here. But I just remembered a friend from Alaska who was really good at handling dogs. In Alaska, there's a lot of loose dogs. It's more spread out, and I don't know, people don't supervise their dogs as well. And I used to be a long distance runner, and I ran with groups of girls. And this one gal that I ran with was really good at handling dogs. And sometimes you would get charged by these dogs that were loose. And she actually would get big, loud, and start running at them and yelling at them. And it worked really good. So when this pit bull charged us, that was randomly loose in this grass area because somebody was just passing through and let their dog loose, I just started yelling as loud as I could while I was digging for my pepper spray. Thankfully, I didn't have to use the pepper spray, and my yelling at it was enough to deter it, which thank you, Jesus, for that. But yeah, you always got to be aware, especially if you're a woman. That's another great thing about having a dog. Meg is not a big dog, but she's very protective of her mommy. I saved her life, and I think she'd save mine too. Let's hope we don't have to test that circumstance. Oh, let's see here. I got a few more comments. So Gregory Bentley, welcome to the channel. You're filming on a potato. All right. Magnum, you're walking your Yari right now. She's 2 years old. You have 4 acres, so we like to patrol. She just chased a squirrel. Well, Meg would be right there with Yari. Gregory Bentley, some man seems pretty generalized and misandrous. Well, he was a stranger. Hey, Jesus, thanks for subscribing. Alien, you know, I don't smoke marijuana, but I hear it's legal in some places. I'm high on life, dude. Or dudette. Actually, oh wait, we got some water here, which is pretty awesome. You know what? Water is really slick here, and it's because it doesn't rain much, so whatever oils are on like cement type surfaces get really slippery, so you gotta be careful. It's like almost like black ice, so we're just gonna walk over here in the dirt. Jesus, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate the channel support. But more on Meg. I rescued Meg, my husband and I did, 2.5 years ago. And when we first met her, she was really shut down. And actually, so how we met her is I used to be a long distance runner, and I always had big dogs that I ran with. They were great running companions, and they kept you safe. Nobody bothers a woman with a big dog. But so I tried walking 2 dogs at the shelter, and we had had a dog that passed a couple of years previously, so that'd be about 4.5 years now. And so we thought, well, we want another dog. We're not going to go get a puppy, because people were abandoning 140 dogs a day at these shelters, and I think the shelters are overflowing again now with dogs that people have just dumped. And so we decided we're going to get a shelter dog, which is a challenge. Oh, I love these weeds. These are pretty cool. Oh, I don't even know if you can see it because my phone went crazy. Let's try it this way. These are beautiful weeds. What do you think? So anyway, I tried walking these 2 larger dogs, and I'm like, whoa, my back hurts, right? Because they were pulling. A lot of times I think animals end up at shelters. One reason is people just don't work with them, right? And then they grow up and they can't handle them. These are really great dogs, and at 40, if I was 20 years younger, I would have taken them on, but at my age, I just can't do that. But I saw this guy walking Meg, and she was just this little dog walking nice on her leash like she is right now. And so I said, well, I want to meet that dog over there, because I liked how she was. Oops, come on, you crazy girl. She's crazy about chipmunks or ground squirrels or rabbits, whatever lives in those holes. So anyway, I wanted to meet Meg, and so they brought Meg into an enclosed area with me and my husband, and whoa, that was a rat right there. Holy cow. Yeah, you're all over that. I wish you'd chase him out of our backyard. So they brought Meg into the enclosure, and poor thing, she was just all shut down. She wouldn't look at us. She was looking down. She was like, just looked like she hated humans and just wanted humans to just go away. And so that was really sad. We were almost crying when we left. And she was emaciated. She was probably, I'm going to guess she was about 34 pounds. She looked like a puppy, and now she's probably close to 60. We need to weigh her. But so we were so sad when we met Meg, and I'm like, we're going back tomorrow. We're going to bring sausage and bacon. So we went back the next day, and I brought sausage and bacon, and I held the sausage and bacon out, and she actually looked at me. So I talked to 4 different people that had handled her, because the one time you're going to get bit by a dog is if they're afraid, right? And 4 different people that handled Meg, including the man that was walking her, told me that her fear response was to flee, and that's true. To this day, her fear response is to flee. So we're like, well, we're going to give you a try. And I won't lie, it's been a bit of work working with her. The first 3 months we had her, she just laid on a cushion like a little pound puppy. Just like a little pound puppy beanie baby, right? She'd get up to use the bathroom or to eat, and that was it. She didn't make a sound. And It's I spent hours sitting on the floor with her, just talking to her, not touching her. She didn't want to be touched by anybody when we first got her. She was so cute, and she's actually still really cute. She's a pretty dog. But she's come a long ways, but it was a lot of work. In fact, the first time I tried walking her, I had to get the leash on her. Boy, that was an experience. But she didn't want to get more than 50 feet from the house. She was like really afraid. And then she was afraid of everybody that passed us, all the animals. So this big walk we're doing, I would have to stand off to the side with her and let people and animals walk by. So she has come a long ways. Now this dog that was a little scaredy britches, if I'm home by myself and she hears anything outside, well, she lets them know it's her house. She's boss. Ain't nobody coming in our house, right? But it looks like I have some comments here. Let me catch up. Wow. Appreciate all you joining us today. Some of y'all aren't very nice. It's okay. We're pretty open-minded unless people are horribly rude or unkind, so when that happens, we just say goodbye and wish you a good day. We don't have any hate here. Hey, Jesus, thanks for the support. And let's see, who's this person? I'm trying to see. There's so much light in my eyes. Like, let's go back over here for a moment so Mommy can see. Arpit Suthari, welcome to the channel. Hi. Hey, Harsh, you have a German Shepherd. That's awesome. Magnum, thank you so much. She's a lucky dog, and I actually feel pretty lucky I have her, but you're right. She was definitely on doggy death row. Nobody's going to adopt a dog that's shut down. Everybody's looking for a puppy to love on, right? And we have big hearts, and we're retired, so we actually had the time to work with her. If you were somebody that didn't have time on your hands, you wouldn't be able to take this dog on. But she has turned out to be an amazing pet, and it's the hardest relationship for her to form was with my husband. I'm pretty sure a man beat her. In fact, I think the man may have beaten the dog and the wife, because for the longest time she felt the need to warn me that my husband was coming in the room. And my husband's a wonderful man. She just had an association with how the man of the house acted, right? So it's pretty sad. But she's almost had as many good years with us as she had bad years in her life before us. So she's come a long ways, and she is living her best life, and she definitely adds to my life, so it was worth the effort. Aw, Hader, thank you. I hope I said your name right. Hader Kali, welcome to the channel. But that's pretty much our story with Miss Meg here in the desert. She's a desert dog. She actually handles the heat really well, but we don't push it, right? We get out in the morning time, and in a few days here, it'll be back the early morning time. We've had a reprieve on the heat, which has been such a blessing. I got to sleep in it a couple times, right? I don't get much of that in the summer here. But I sure appreciate the support. Jesus, thanks for joining the channel. Hader, Kali, thank you so much. Magnum, I enjoyed your story about your doggy too. Harsh, thanks for coming to the channel. Arpit Suthar, hope I said your name right. I apologize if I didn't. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.